President Trump hitting the brakes on striking key Iranian energy targets for 5 days amid what he called ongoing talks.
We're doing a 5-day period. We'll see how that goes. And if it goes well, we're going to end up with settling this. Otherwise, we'll just keep bombing our little hearts out.
The president telling reporters today Iran is ready to talk and make a deal, a claim that Iran's parliament speaker is calling fake news to, quote, manipulate the financial and oil markets.
Joining us now is Fox News contributor and former CIA station chief Dan Hoffman. Dan, it's always good to see you. All right, all day I've been following kind of this back and forth. Are we having talks? Are we not having talks? Some people in Iran saying no, the president, the administration saying yes. How do you read the fact that we can't even quite agree on whether or not we're having talks? Is that a sign that Iran is in a weaker than expected position, a stronger than expected position? What do you think?
Well, President Trump says that we are conducting negotiations with Iran. He didn't say whether those are direct or indirect. And the Speaker of Iran's parliament, which I find interesting that it's not someone else speaking on behalf of the Iranian regime, but the Speaker of their parliament says there are no such talks taking place. So, look, we'll have to see how things shake out over the next 5 days. As for the war, I think there's three options here. President Trump can declare an end to the war and walk away from it, but the question will remain whether we achieved our objectives of destroying Iran's ballistic missile capability, their nuclear program, and degrading their support to proxy terrorists. We could also negotiate an end to the war, which would have to involve some verification that the Iranians are not going to pursue those programs, the ballistic missiles and the nuclear program. Or we could continue to fight, escalate, as President Trump threatened to do after this 5-day period, and that would certainly involve expectations, at least, that Iran would strike back, whether with cyber attacks, potentially terrorist attacks. The challenge for us is that they're striking soft targets, desalinization plants, and oil facilities, whereas we're targeting military sites.
But that also tells me that they're desperate, Dan. And when you're desperate, your enemy, that is, you may be close to the end. You know, for me, it seems President Trump doesn't want a situation where in 5 years or 10 years we have to worry about this again. Might there just be an opportunity here to see this through the finish line?
Well, I definitely think we need to do that. Look, when I served as the director of the CIA's Near East Division, I spent some time in Tel Aviv meeting with Israeli intelligence, and what they used to talk about was having to mow the lawn in Gaza in particular to find, fix, and finish Hamas targets, destroy their weapons, and then they knew they would have to come back and mow that lawn again and tear up the weeds because they hadn't finished the job with a political solution. I absolutely believe President Trump wants to finish this so that we don't have to return 3, 4, 5 years from now and go through this again. But that's a challenge, and I can tell you that every day that the Strait of Hormuz is under Iran's control, as for which countries are able to move their ships through the Strait of Hormuz, that's Iran, the regime's proof that they have some resilience and some staying power.
Yeah.
Now, autocracies are brittle, and they could fall and collapse in a moment's notice. So I'm sure the CIA and our intelligence community is tracking all of that very closely.
I'm sure they are, and the intelligence up to this point has been absolutely on point. We so appreciate your time. Dan Hoffman, thank you.
Thanks, Dan.